I am not David Reed. David Reed is, for some of you, well-known, a well-known, long-standing colleague, but for some of you, probably this is the first time you're seeing him in the flesh. He's a little bit an international man of mystery, but David's been with PSI for how many years?
10th year.
10th year, wow, 10 years. Congratulations. David is a senior vice president. He was regional director for Asia and Eastern Europe. He's been our country rep in Romania. And now he is handling strategy for us, strategic planning in particular, as we're going to talk about this morning, but also working on things in Pakistan, working on innovations. And for the last couple of months, he's been living on an airplane going to all of the regional retreats to give the presentation or a variation on the presentation that you're going to get this morning. A small group of us spent the last 2 days here in Washington noodling over strategic plan issues as we look at the last year of our current plan, but more importantly than that, what happens over the next 5 years. So this morning he's going to talk about where we are in that thinking and where you fit into the process going forward from here. David, thanks for doing this. Welcome.
Thank you, Carl.
David Reed, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Why don't we, well, let's just start with a video to tug your brain a little bit, and then I'll start talking. If I could just find the play button. Here's stop. Well, that worked nicely. Okay.
Different words.
Okay, you might be wondering why I would play that video. And I am going to be sharing with you exactly what we shared at the international retreats, at the regional retreats all around the world. And one of the things, the point of that video is how important, especially in an organization now that is as large and spread over the world and many different languages, how important words are that we choose, that we're going to be excited about in terms of our strategic direction. And so words become really incredibly important, and that's why this presentation, or this discussion, which I'd like to share with you, is actually only about 4 words. And we're talking about, basically this discussion is about, in the end, where do you, Because I'm not the strategic planning guy who's like coming up with the coolest plan and then we're going to send it to you and then we all do it over the next 5 years. We've learned that doesn't work so well. It needs to be, our plan, and I'll talk to you about kind of what stage we're in of that right now. But if it's not our plan, if it's not yours, and it's not your manager's, then it just becomes some cool presentation that really never happens. So the point of all this is to talk about where we want to spend our energy, and some of it's difficult energy, over the next 5 years. And that's where these 4 words come into play. And I'll explain more what they are. But maybe someone can help me read these. Daniela, what's the first word?
Need.
Need. Corey?
Marketing.
Marketing. Christina?
Value.
Value. Hanok?
Influence.
Influence. Okay. So this whole presentation is really going to be around those 4 words. So if you remember nothing else, hopefully it'll be that, but it'll have some meaning behind them. Actually, I'm standing up here representing quite a few people, about half a dozen people. The process we've chosen to take this time for strategic planning is a little different than we did before. But basically, the start of the process has been basically asking leaders to lead, at least in terms of coming up with some draft ideas of what Carl, ET, RDs, and vice presidents, which is about 13 people, for them to begin the process by doing what they're paid to do and thinking about our future and proposing kind of a way forward for PSI, but in a way that then we throw out to all of PSIers and say, hey, is this silly? Does this make sense? Is this where you want to put your energy? Do you think that this is going to get us to where we want to go? So we've kind of begun with leaders leading in terms of their thinking, but then in an open forum. By the way, anything at this point, I apologize that you haven't seen this before the retreats, but really it doesn't, other than maybe your discomfort of not having seen it until now, it doesn't matter. There's nothing off the table. There's nothing, it's not carved in stone. We've had a lot of feedback, and we'd like your feedback. And we can do that any number of ways. You can talk today, you can follow up with me, you can follow up with your manager, anyone you're comfortable talking to, and I'm always available in terms of if you want to talk to me or write to me and say, that's stupid, or I don't like that, or what's going on. I really know, what are the sneakers all about? I didn't get that slide. The sneakers are supposed to suggest that we're at the beginning of a process. Even though some work has been done and some thought has gone into it, we're still, it's still early. It's still the starting line. And that goes back to this idea that if the people who do the real work at PSI, which is you and other folks, in the field, if they don't feel like it's their plan, then it's just, it's just marketing glop. So that's the idea. We're at the start. Where we are in the process is sharing this stuff, getting feedback, and then in September, there's going to be working groups. And those are going to be open to people throughout the PSI world. And we encourage your participation if you want to. I mean, you can participate in different ways. You can join a working group and get really heavily involved. Or you can join a working group and there may be options to kind of be informed as to what's going on and you chime in when you feel like it. Or you could monitor all the working groups and chime in when you like it. But there's no kind of like not allowed. And that will be happening in September.